y'all see NeNe Leakes' criminal past, her mugshot? And so basically, NeNe was arrested when she was like 25 years old for stealing money from the phone company or stealing theft. They said theft of services from the phone company. And so she was arrested, and then she was put on probation for 2 years. But during those 2 years, she was arrested 6 times. Oh. And so, our readers were like, why are you bringing up old stuff? Why are you bringing up the past? And I think, I wrote in my piece, like, we're not going to hold her accountable for something she did 20 years ago. Like, it's great that she's come up from that and, like, she's no longer in that mess. But it's really interesting that she talks about Marlo being a criminal and she talks about everybody else being so shiesty when you had your own dirt, too.
I think it must be a requirement to have a file to get on these shows, because like the things that come out about these ladies, like after the fact, like when the tapes are rolling, are kind of crazy. And I don't. Well, there's hardly anyone on any of these shows that doesn't have like some extremely shady or criminal background, which is kind of ridiculous to say. That majority of them have criminal backgrounds.
I feel like the same way that you do. I just think it's interesting. I mean, not that she really throws Marlo's criminal past like around like that. I just think when they have their issues, she's like, nobody wanted her around because of her criminal past. So that's interesting, but I'm really not surprised. I feel like I don't know, because I don't know enough of NeNe's backstory anyway to assume that she would have been like pristine. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, folks got skeletons, I guess.
Has she responded?
Those images though were interesting.
You know what? It's so funny. A lot of our readers were like, she looked better back then.
Oh God.
Well, she was younger.
She was younger. But they were like,
because really nothing has changed to her hair.
They were saying she shouldn't have touched her nose.
To me, her nose hasn't changed that much.
Yeah, it's a little bit more rounder, rather than when she was in those pictures. It was just a little bit more. Yeah.
What did y'all think about Mase? Apparently, his congregation is upset with him and his backsliding ways. Me personally, I'm like, if you go to a church where Mase is the pastor, like Mase is the pastor. You know what you're getting into when you go into that church. Mase is the pastor of this church. You've heard Harlem World. It's not a Christian CD.
I actually love Mase and Betha.
I really do. Ever since I was 8.
What was you listening to when you were 8?
On Top of the World with Brandy.
Okay.
I watched a video.
Okay.
Yeah,
You didn't have the CD?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I did because I was 8 and my parents were like, "Whoa." But I really do love him, and I actually watched one of his sermons, and they were actually really good. And I'm not saying this because groupie love, but it was actually like a good sermon. And like you said, if you do go to his church and you know that he is trying to get back out in the industry, you have to kind of recognize that he's, how to put this, he is going to preach the word of God, but at the same time, he is still human. So even if he wasn't a rapper, like, pretty sure he would, do human things and make mistakes and things of that nature. Like, I don't feel like crop a little dollar in them,
Okay. Right.
I mean...
Why would you choose Mase as a pastor if you have a problem with him getting back into the industry, though?
Well, I think that he was, maybe these people, a way to look at it possibly could be like, maybe after he decided to leave the industry and he seemed like he had separated himself from it all, like maybe he was, he came to the church and he was acting like, that's a whole nother world that I'm dealing with. So then you believe it and you're like, go ahead, Pastor Betha, speak the word, tell the truth, shame the devil. And, and you're believing in him, and then all of a sudden he's like, it's been real. I'll be back I'm gonna be back one Sunday a month.
Right.
I'm gonna go over here with Diddy and right. I'm finna go to concerts and be like, take pictures with Big Sean, and I'm gonna divorce my wife. And then they was like, hold up. This where my money going? But no, that's the real problem. I'm saying. But
right.
You sure looking nice these days. Wasn't wearing that when you was over here trying to be my pastor.
Right.
So I think that probably is the issue. Like if our pastor came up out of nowhere and he stopped coming to the church and we saw him like in pictures like.
Because when he
looking at me rapper.
When he initially left the industry to become a Christian and to be born again, he did release a statement stating that he saw the light he was lying in the bed with like 3 or 4 women and he saw the light and he, you know, the lifestyle wasn't for him anymore. But I really think he should have probably just gotten married to maybe one woman, you know, and maybe that's the light that he needed to see and change. Maybe it wasn't a total.
To be in the pulpit.
Exactly.
What's he gonna rap about?
He's actually been rapping about, you know, like the typical, like, my girl got a girlfriend, or my, like, it's just really messy things. So
How you gonna say you were born again and you talking about my girl got a girlfriend? You don't feel no type of way when you get in the studio to say that into the mic?
I understand why his congregation is really upset, but at the same time, you know, you picked him to be your pastor.
But you know, did you guys see that Rae Rice, the Baltimore Ravens football player, was indicted for assaulting his girl, well, not just his girlfriend, his fiancée, the mother of his child, Janae, is that how you pronounce it? Palmer? Janae? I think Janae Palmer. So, but to me, the interesting thing was not that he was indicted. Like, the video evidence definitely proves he needs to be charged with something. This one, he was dragging that woman out of the elevator. But the fact that the couple released a statement saying, you know, we're in counseling and we're working on a relationship and we're happy and we're together, blah, 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 blah.
When I saw the video, he was dragging her like a doll.
Yeah.
Like, just.
It wasn't real.
I think it's something that as individuals you have to really investigate before, clearly, especially if someone is dragging you.
I found when I have conversations with like friends or family and different things, I feel like people come out and tell you the real struggles that they've been through much later, much down the line, when it looks like their relationships are decent or they're good. Oh, you didn't know back when, you know, we first started dating, he cheated on me, or so-and-so beat me, or I had to have an abortion, and And so to me, I just never like really judge those situations. I feel sad for people when I know they go back to, you know, things, and it looks like the person, like when Rihanna immediately went back to Chris Brown for that short bit after their domestic dispute. I felt sad because I'm like, y'all ain't even had no minutes like to really just kind of like figure your situation out.
You can't ever tell anybody what to do. Nobody's inside somebody else's relationship, but it's one of those things where if it happens once, it's going to happen again. And funny enough, like if she's beating him, which does happen, like there definitely are women out there that beat their boyfriends or their husbands, or you know, or if it's a guy beating the woman, it's just that it's not right in any direction that it's going.